Hello, it is Bev here from Clear Thinking, and I am joined by the lovely Toni Addinall. And Toni, hello.
Hi, Bev.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Good, I'm all right, thank you very much. So we are gathered here today to talk a little bit about the cards. So you and I have known each other since about 2015, I reckon, when we
Yes,
worked together on a project, and then obviously our paths have been intertwinkled since then. And I happen to know that you have a set of cards for clear thinking. And
I
the
do.
other day when we were chatting, you were telling me about how you had used them. And that's the story I want to tell. So, will you share a little bit about how you've most recently used the cards? And I'm really keen to know not only what you did, but what was the outcome.
Okay, I will do. But first, I really like the new word intertwinkled. And I think
Intertwinkled, yeah.
intertwinkled, so I think that should go into the card deck as well.
Yeah.
Love that.
Okay, excellent. It's a made up word,
I
but
know.
apparently it's not my own. I thought I'd made it up, but apparently not.
Well, I
Um,
think you should claim it anyway. It's a great word.
Thank you.
Yes, so I was doing some thinking for my niece. So she is currently at college doing a hair and beauty course. And she wants, rather than going and working in a salon, she wants to set up for herself. But she doesn't know where to start, and college haven't really given her much of a direction on what she needs to think about. So I was doing some thinking to help guide her thinking in what does she need to think about, what would she need to buy, budget, planning, all of that kind of thing. And so one of the things that I am possibly sadly very passionate about is time management and thinking about how we plan to achieve what we need to achieve, and really taking the time to consider what that looks like, and how you can really plan effectively. So I was thinking about how I could help a 17-year-old do that. So I'd put a couple of templates together that would just sort of help with her thinking, and then I started to pull together some questions that she could ask herself to really help motivate her with both planning the activity that she needs to do, but ultimately doing it, because obviously that's why we plan, isn't it, effectively, so that we can do something and take the action. And so one of the things that that I think can be really useful when we're thinking about how can we better manage our time is what mood or what energy do I need to bring to that task? Because everybody has a time in the day that they feel more productive or more focused or more whatever. But actually, if we know what we need to be to do that task, so for example, I need to be creative, I need to think about lots of different things, I want to put my creative hat on, then that can help us think, okay, well, I normally feel quite creative just after lunch, for example. So that was the question. I wanted to think about what mood or energy do you need to bring to this task so that you will A, do it, and B, do it to sort of your best, bring your best self. So I was sitting here thinking, okay, now, and what I could do with, because if I give a 17-year-old that question, I know what answer I'm going to get. Don't know. So I thought I need to give a selection of words, energy, mood, feeling. And so I thought, okay, right, this could take a while. I started writing a couple of words down, and then I just glanced up just above me where my cards are, and I thought that's exactly what I need. So I reached for them. Got them. I was on the light side. I didn't go to the dark side for this particular activity. I was on the light side, and I went through each card and thought, actually, yeah, that's a great example, and then selected the ones of the words that I thought would be key words to put as an example, but then got a lot more that I would put as sort of like an appendix. So I've thought in terms of perhaps other people using it, if it had like a big word cloud, you could circle the words. And it was great, and something that I thought, oh, that's going to take me quite a while to list all of the sort of moods and energies, was in a couple of minutes got me a great list of words and really helped me focus and look at achieving what it was that I wanted to achieve with that. And it just made me smile because it also brought back lots of memories of using them in the past and being at card school. So yeah, that's my story.
It's really good to hear how it's it created like a wormhole. You got somewhere quicker because you had it, and it makes someone's thinking a bit more accessible, doesn't it? Because you can get stuck.
Yes.
And a prompt is helpful often for ruling something out rather than ruling it in as well, because there are some of those words on the cards that you think, well, I don't really need that. But I suppose it gives your niece the opportunity to dial up some of those things, to amplify the things that she might want to think about. What was the impact on her?
It got her thinking in a different way, something that she hadn't thought about before. Whether she's used it much yet, I don't know. I think it's something I'd like to pick up with her more, because I've found from personal experience it's about that practice, isn't it, really? Sometimes if something seems quite difficult, you can sort of put it away and go, I'll come back to it later. So it's a very different thing to think about. And particularly with my niece and where she's at with her age, I think they tend to just have two moods, good or not so good. So it's just widened. But I think it also helped her think about the different things that she needs to do, just in terms of getting started. So it's just helped her think, oh, there's different things that I need to bring to this, different energies that I need to bring to the tasks that I need to do. But the other impact has also been, it's there now in my mind, and I'm thinking, how can there are days where I do not practice what I preach in terms of my own planning, and I think actually what I could do is, on a morning when I'm thinking about planning, I could actually even just use the cards in the way that I've tried to do it with my niece for myself, and I think I'd find that really useful going forward as well.
I love that you're infecting your niece with your desire to be prepared and to think ahead and think of those steps, because I think that's quite hard for young people often to think in those steps, and to do with how the brain develops, isn't it? It's not that they can't think, well, it is that they can't think necessarily of all the steps. So until that executive function is developed, they're going to struggle. So something that's accessible makes sense, and it sounds very practical, and also very mature as well. A mature way to help somebody, because she's getting to think for herself rather than following someone else's plan. Because I think that's the other thing about working with young people. They've got their own idea of what they want to do, but often they're told how things need to be because everyone around them has got way more experience. But actually that young person probably knows they just need to find a way to express it, and then they might need help with the steps to make it happen. So what a nice opportunity that she's had to spend that time with you. I'm sure it's helped massively, and it's good to hear a real example of where you've just in the moment thought, I'm going to apply it, I'm going to use this, because so often I think that's hard for us to go, oh, I've got a thing, I could use the thing and reach up and get the thing. So it's nice to hear of how that's happened for you in real life. So thank you so much for your time today and for sharing the story, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks for watching and listening, everyone. Bye for now.
You're welcome.